walking on sand and holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland, in my own homeland. Enjoying the bright, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight in my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in a paradise. No matter the season, you got every reason. This place is another little heaven. East or west, I couldn't care less. Ooh, this place, it is definitely blessed. My own homeland. North.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. Today is Thursday, and when it's Thursday, my neighbor always bring out his girl. But today we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be launching the book. Yes, today is a book launch for Dr. the Most Honorable Anthony Gabby Carter, aka the Mighty Gabby. And the title of the book is Life and the Anthonyology. So, volume 1. And this is how we're going to do it this morning. I got my co-host here with me this morning, Flavius, and I have my guest also, Cleve. So, stick and stay. Don't go nowhere unless you got to get your tea, your coffee, whatever beverage you have this time of the morning or this time of the afternoon, depending on where you're at. I'll be right back. Yes, indeed. Top of the morning, Flavius. Top of the morning. Top of the morning, Cleve.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Top of the morning, everybody.
Let me ask
Good
you.
morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mighty Gabby.
All right. When I call on you, then you can unmute your mic, okay? I just want everything to run smoothly this morning. Don't want no feedback. Don't want no interruption, okay? Thank you. So, Cleve, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Yes, well, in Ontario here, we're just recovering from the snow. It has been snowing for the last couple of days, but yesterday we started to get some sunshine, and this morning I woke up and the snow is melted. That means it's about 2 degrees Celsius outside. Yes, so the sun is partially out. We're optimistic that we'll have a bright day. But winter is on and we'll be prepared for it.
All right. Thank you very much. Flavius, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Let me unmute.
Rain most rainy, but that's about it. That is where I am. I'm in Rainfield.
Okay.
So it might not be rain anywhere else.
Tell them where Rainfield is.
Rainfield is in Enfield, St. Mary.
All right, Jamaica. Anyway, I'm going to hand it over to you so you can bring in our host, because we have a whole lot of guests this morning. Some going in and out, and we want to get down to business. So without any further ado, Flavius, the floor is yours.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. We are awaiting the arrival of...
He's here. He's in the room.
Okay.
He's in the room. The man at the moment is here. Let me pin him so that we can have him a big feature of him. So let me pin him.
Yeah.
Because today is his day. There he is, right in the middle of us all.
Hi, everyone. Thanks.
Good morning.
Morning, Gabberts. Good morning.
Morning. I hope everybody can hear each other.
Yes, everyone
So
can hear.
at this stage, I'm going to hand it over to Sir Gabby.
Yes, please.
Give us
Thank
an
you, sir. I just want to thank you for allowing me to bring my book launching on your podcast. And I want to thank everyone for coming, especially Mr. Render Calendar and his wonderful wife, Margot, and all who attend. I just want to thank you all so much because this is a very, very important moment in my life that I released the first book of poetry. So I'm here right now and I'm elated, I'm happy, I'm so glad that this has occurred. And so I would love to hand over to Mr. Randall Calendar to do all the formalities. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay. Will the gentleman please unmute your mic and step forward? Is he here, Gabby?
I was hoping, yeah, he said that he'd be there in less than 10 seconds. So let's hope that he is indeed on in that 10 seconds.
All right.
So
okay. Let's wait.
Mr. Calendar, are you there yet? Hello? We're waiting on the link, I guess.
He's not here yet, so.
I don't know what happened technically there, but
I think he's there.
you all know to give us. But anyway, if I may continue then,
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Gabby.
can you say that this is first of 35 books I plan to release, and this first one has 60 poems in it. And I am so surprised at the amount of the orders that has occurred. I'm absolutely stunned. I'm just absolutely in awe. One particular friend of mine, who is the former dean of the St. Michael's Cathedral, has ordered 3 books. And I want to thank him very much, this Dean Harold Critchlow. And several people. I just know that I'm not going to have enough books in this first set that I have to satisfy and to be able to disseminate to everyone. So bear with me after this. I guarantee you that you will get your book. But right now, the book is going like crazy. So thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I don't know if Mr. Calendar is in yet, but if he isn't, I would like to read one of the poems from the book.
Yeah, that's a wonderful start. Yes.
To see if he's with us. Mr. Calendar, are you there? They seem to have a technical problem from their end. So I remember, I'll do this one called I Remember. And it goes, I remember Fonty Bell, Caucasians by the score. As usual, acting and feeling they were superior to us, the poor. The Herberts and the Badleys, living in affluent style. And barefooted boys, like yours truly, they would consider wild. No mention of the depression the white people inflicted on us. No mention of racism penetrating Barbados. No mention of the dogs they trained to attack black people. No mention of the policies that kept us unstable. A similar scenario was unfolding at the very same time in Belleville and in Strathclyde. They never saw it as a crime. They behaved as though everyone knew it was their God-given right to keep us poverty-stricken with no relief in sight. They lived in opulent houses, eating well every day, leftovers not given to the black maid. Oh no, she had to throw them away. She, with 3 children to feed, would gladly have taken their race to feed her hungry children, to see the smiles on each face. I remember the stores in town, all workers lily white in Broad Street and in Swan Street, and that we couldn't fight. Then I remember the yacht club, tears would come to my eye. The black yachtsmen in the proverbial pen couldn't go in, had to sail by. I remember the police force. The chief was always white, an Englishman, a gentleman. They really met me shy. The fire chief, the army chief, the police band's leader, all white people, brutal, making black people suffer. I remember the prestigious schools. Things there were more than dread. No matter how brilliant a black academic was, a white man was chosen as head. Oh, how we love to pretend this didn't happen at all. Thank God I was an eyewitness, blessed with total recall. This country was no different to South Africa in those days. The similarities were omnipresent in so many different ways. Oh, how I do remember my youth, now in my September. We've come a long way. Hear what I say. Soon we'll be free at last. Yet my memory always says to me, don't ever forget the past. I wrote that one on June the 27th, 2020, and I always like to put the time. I wrote it from 4:28 a.m. to 4:51 a.m. Thank you. Are we still on?
Okay,
Hello?
Flavius.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the end of that one entitled I Remember.
All right.
Mr. Chan, actually having technical problems.
As you await your friend Gabby,
Yeah.
we could get a comment from each of our guests now.
Yes, of course. I would be happy to welcome any of the guests who are on, who can hear us, and whom are willing to say anything about these poems, because I know some people have the books already ordered before, and I know some people whom I would have sent some poems to.
Okay, let's start from at the top. What I'm seeing here, Margaret. Could we start with Margaret, please?
Hello, Margaret.
Unmute Margaret.
Hello, good morning, Gabby. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Carter.
Please. Good morning.
Yeah,
Hello.
could we start? Okay, Margaret, you're on mute now. Could you go ahead, please?
I am just listening in at this time, just waiting for the actual program to begin. But so that's it for now.
Hello, Peter. Are you there, Peter Allen? If you are,
Yes, I am.
Could you come in, please?
Sure. Hi, Doctor, the most honorable. How are you this morning?
I'm a lot better. I'm feeling great. I guess everyone knows
I'm
that
so happy to see you, to see that you're well.
I'm happy to see you
I
too,
am,
sister.
thanks. I'm one of the ones that Gabby has always sent poems to, and as he knows, I will always react and tell him, you know, what I think about them. And in early days, he spoke about his anthonyology, and I loved it. I loved the title of it, and I loved the whole idea of it. And Gabby, I wish you continued success and continue to heal and get better.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much.
Before we move ahead, Gabby, we are getting a lot of feedback. Anybody have any devices on, from your computer or phone, like a TV or any volume up? Because we're getting some serious feedback here.
Listen to that.
There's still like a television in the background playing. Okay, it seems to have gone now. No, it's back again.
So, hi, this is Barbara.
Can everybody mute until you're called, please?
Barbara came on. Someone is
All right,
speaking,
it sound a little better now, Flavors. Go ahead.
Good morning.
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 Doctor, the most honorable Gabby.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Carter.
Good morning.
I trust that all is well with you and your recovery process is moving on smoothly. Let me join all those who wish you every success in the launch of this work that you've been putting together for those who get it will understand what the life in Barbados was during those days and how you chronicle all of the events. Well, some of the events in this particular book, because other events are supposed to come in other books. And as I speak, I think my name is showing up as Nurse. I don't know how that happened. Actually, my name is not Nurse. I am not even a doctor, nurse, or anything. I'm just a retired broadcaster.
I think you can go ahead and rename yourself in your setting. When you're finished, you can go ahead and do that.
Yes.
Okay. Flavors, what I would suggest, for those who you want to call upon, just as soon as you call upon them, let them, you know. Oh. Are you ready there, Flavius? Flavius.
Flavius, can you hear us?
Flavius, come in.
Yeah, I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay, take over.
No, what I'm saying is that everybody could mute themselves, and when you are called, then you get unmute. Are we still getting the feedback? I don't know where it's coming from.
Okay.
Go ahead, Gabby.
Yes, I just want to again thank the brother who came on, because my feeling was that my lifetime was one spent in variety, and I grew up extremely poor and also living next door to extreme riches, because some of the richest people in the country lived in Fontebelle, the business people, etc. Where we were in contrast to them, a real paradox. And so, we knew what it was to experience racism, experience being felt as though you were like a second-class citizen and all of that. That's why that first poem that I read focused on that situation because it was an early time in my life. And what was so ironic is that there we were, just having to cross the street, and we would be at one of the best beaches in the world, and the only brown sand beach in Barbados. It's all gone now. The harbor there, which was, to my mind, another mistake, and destroyed the beach, and also destroyed the only little ward island we had that was livable, called Pelican Island. So, in their wisdom, they destroyed Pelican Island and destroyed our beach, and also destroyed our recreational facilities and so on. So it was a whole lot of hits against us that occurred at that time, all in progress. And so I felt that it was necessary to have that poem, and there are several others that I wrote so that that the reader can see what my life was like, what all Black people's lives were like back then. And it has remained almost like an indelible mark on my mind, and I'm glad that I was able to recall it all in poetry. Thank you.
Thanks for that explanation, Dr. Furman.
Flavius, can I ask him a question?
Anyone else please to come in and ask any questions?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm Cleve Brackett. Thank you, Flavius. Dr. Carter. I listened very carefully to I Remember. And I Remember could have been true of any of the Caribbean islands. I'm from Jamaica, and it was no different in those days. So my question to you is, how have things changed between then and now in Barbados?
Very good question. It has changed almost dramatically, because
can I get this volume up, though?
Here we are in today that only a few nights ago we became a republic.
Let me see what happened.
And here we are transferring from being a British colony with those English people in total and complete control of everything in our lives, who we now are a young republic. And I thank God I was able to live through all of it, to see all the stages, to see colonialism, to see the neo-colonialism, to see the independence thrust, and to see us becoming a republic. Not many people would have had that opportunity to have seen all those changes. The only period that I might have missed was slavery, and yet, when I was a boy and you saw what life was like, the workers on the plantation, it could not have been to be in the days of slavery. They still had the guy on the horse with the khaki and shouting at workers and got his whip in his hand, not necessarily using it, but still having that picture of like a slave and a slave master. I saw that. I went working on a plantation one single day. I told myself that I would never, ever go back to seeing something like that firsthand, because it was horrible. No food to eat, whole time there, no water to drink, and then the come, it was hot. Had the water in the fields for long periods of time, and that's how they drank the water. Norwood Plantation in St. James, is very vivid in my mind. So to travel from that time to this time, it's just brilliant. Here we are, all of us having a chance to go to the Barbados Community College, the University, other tertiary level institutions, which was just not possible when I was a boy. So the transition has been wonderful, and I am grateful to have lived through all of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Flavius.
Hello. Yes.
Who is?
May I say something?
Go ahead.
Yes. Hi. This is Maureen Denton. I'm calling from
Maureen.
Jamaica.
Excuse me, dear Maureen. Do you have anything in the background? Do you have anything in the background playing? Your computer, is it on?
No, I don't have a computer on. No.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
So I just want to congratulate the mighty Gabby for this collection. I haven't gotten a copy yet, but looking forward to it. As we know, the cultural worker in our country, whether it be the writer or the performing artist or the painter, is one of the most important worker in our country. They're the ones that record our history, and they're the ones that leave the story about how the people lived, what were their challenges, their pains, their sufferings, their hopes. And we only have to listen to the songs of the mighty Gabby to know that he captures all of the history and the feelings of the Barbadian people and of Black people all over the world. And I saw Gabby about 3 years ago, and he says, Maureen, I'm going to write a poem every single day. And it is amazing that not only did he write a poem every day, but many times he wrote several poems in one day. And you'll have noticed from the one he read that he wrote that poem in less than an hour, which just talks about the brilliance of this person. He is truly, truly a Caribbean person, a Black person, and just such a strong representative of all that is positive and good of our people. Congratulations again to the mighty Gabby. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Gentlemen, I just want to...
People, excuse me. Once again, could you please mute your microphone so we don't get all of the feedback and the noise in the background? If you're not talking, please mute. Thank you.
I just want to say that Maureen has been my friend since she was 17 years old. And we were living in New York, and we had done plays only the Gabby part, and she played as my wife. We were all made up to look much older to her. And I was in my 20s, and she was just a teenager. And Maureen has gone on from strength to strength, and has so many degrees to her name I can't even begin to count. But she is just my sister. Period. And I love you, Maureen, and I thank you for coming on and saying such kind words. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Joel, loud and clear.
Thank you. I am watching from Montreal. And I would like to say good morning to everyone on board and say congratulations to all the Barbadians for your independence and, of course, becoming a republic. I'm seeing Robert, hi Carol, my favorite girl. And I'm seeing Peter, another favorite. I love watching.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Very well. It's very nice. Gabby,
what can I really, really say to you? You are so gracious. Your writing is out of this world. And I am going to say congratulations from the bottom of my heart. And I am just elated to be able to speak to you this morning. I've known you for quite some time. I don't remember, but I've known you. And I've known a very good friend of yours that passed on in board. And I saw you a couple of times in Montreal. And I met in 2015 at the Barbados 50th anniversary. And I took a picture of you. And I still have that picture.
Wow, thank you.
Yes, I came up to you and I spoke to you at the time. You had a little boy with you, and you were part of the guest that night. I was backstage. Even though I didn't suffer of part of every days or part of the racist set of stuff that went on, I can still say that when I was going to high school, the cooperative high school that you mentioned, and we would notice the difference in the schools. And I remember there was a school called Lodge, and the only persons that went there were white boys. I would see the bus come down to Bridgetown, and these students would get off, and every one of them were boys, white boys. And they looked at us like we were nothing, and as you said in the poem, they felt that they were better than us, so they looked down to us a lot, and you can feel it. They don't have to say anything, just a look would tell you, go to the side, you're not good enough for us. And I remember that walking to going to high school at the co-op. And I left Barbados at 17. And I've been living in Montreal now for the past 50 years or more. And I still keep in contact with whatever is going on in Barbados. I watch all the independence celebrations. I watch everybody get their honors and everything. And I was so homesick you wouldn't believe. It just made me so, I was so sad and at the same time happy as to what I was reading and wishing that I was there. So on behalf of those words, I will end and say again to you, congratulations from the bottom of my heart, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes. I am still trying and hoping that Mr. Calendar will be able to join us. Because he's the one and everything, and Barbados National as we speak. But I don't know if they're having a technical problem or what, but he had called me earlier and said that he'd be on in a minute, and I haven't heard any connection yet with him, but I'm hoping that...
Can you call him back?
I can call him and see if we can get him to speak, as opposed to if the video isn't working or whatever technical problem that they have. But I'm trying as we speak now, do my work to try to get the calendar to make that connection with him and the crew of CBC and the nation and Barbados Day and the others that are there at the library as we speak. Okay, so he's still trying to get on there, and I'm hoping that we make that connection. I see Miss.
Excuse me, there, Gabby. I see three. I see three. I see three people with their hands up.
At this time.
Yes, thank you very much, Gabby. How are you today? Good. I am so happy for you. I'm so extremely proud. You are a national and a regional treasure. You know, one of the true hallmarks of genius is the ability to make your craft look very simple, even though we all acknowledge that the remarkable skill that you have is way beyond our reach. I've had the delight and honor of observing you at work over several years, and I still to this day marvel at your ability to effortlessly find the right words and melodies at the right moment. And these are words and melodies that are timeless in their beauty and relevance to this day. When you first started writing a poem a day, if you recall, I said to you, my Gabbert's man, you should publish these. And I know for a fact that numerous other people did as well. I want to tell you that I've kept every single poem you've sent. And you know, you usually send them at the crack of dawn, when only me, you, and two Falcons are up. I really see them Gabberts as priceless gifts from a man who has already given so much to us, his country, his region, his world, through your repertoire, your community service, your mentorship to countless young creatives, your activism. A lot of people don't know about your activism going back decades, and of course, your sense of humanity and humility and your grace that is constant and steadfast. And so, as CEO of the end, I want to heartily congratulate you for yet another great work and a meaningful contribution to our cultural repository. And as a dear friend, and one of the few who's ever beat you at Domino's, although I will never ask for a rematch. Remember that epic night? I want to express how extremely proud I am of you. And as always, Gabby, I wish you love and light.
Thank you, my sister. You know, you are the first person who called, for lack of a better term, the voice of voices in this country. You have a better term than me.
The single most beautiful voice in the land. That is how I describe you. The single most beautiful voice in the land.
Wow, that's high praise.
Here.
And you know, over the years, we worked, you being the top voice in radio in this country for so many years, and you being that anchor person on television, you being that interviewer who makes interviews so easy to be had. And also the fact that we are cricket fanatics, and that your son is presently one of the best young cricketers in this country, if not in the whole Caribbean, and doing well in England as we speak today. So, you know, our friendship is just endless.
Forever and ever.
Never, amen. I also want to thank you for all of them times you cook for me, the braids and everything. And for the first person, my little stepson, Bit, that you took me to an interview. I was supposed to do the interview with me, spoke a bit for like 10 seconds and decided to cancel my interview because the rest of the evening was dedicated to him.
I will never forget that.
Years old, he's now 10, and you declared that this little boy is a genius and that something else. And so far he hasn't let us down. He has won everything in the junior marathon and well at school, and he loves you to death. And
that love is returned.
You owe him a sweet bread. So
that's like well. Now that you've told the world that I'm gonna have to open a bakery, but here's my challenge to you. I will open a bakery if you publish an entire series of books and a box set of your best recordings that I've been asking for decades. So the challenge is on. It's on.
All right. Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. And I'm hoping that Mr. Carol is connected by now, Fabius, so that we can, get to the library and the press and all of that.
Did you get through to him?
I tried calling him, and I'll try again, but we were trying, and it seemed as though we may have to have his voice on, and not necessarily the link that we need, because it seems that they're having technical problems with linking with us this morning here. And I am still trying, my wife is trying as we speak here now to get hold of him again to see if he can connect at least to us, not necessarily video, but at least by vocal. So we are keeping off this cross. That it is a little challenging at the moment, technically, to get hold of Mr. Calendar. But I know he planned everything, he did everything, he did the book, he and his wife. Mr. Calendar, are you on yet? Hello? 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 There's a real problem there.
Gabby, I'm tempted to say that I'm on, but I'm sure this is not the calendar to whom you refer.
Is that Linfield?
This would be that one.
I see. So you got that.
Yes, Gabby.
Linfield? You can see Mr. Calendar now. And it would be good if you could remember or have at hand one of the many poems that you read that I wrote at this time.
I unfortunately don't at this time.
Okay.
The couple of them I was going through the list, like Carol said, you sent me 4,595,282 poems. And I was just going through my list looking for the ones that I had recorded for you. But unfortunately, I have not been able to come up with them.
Okay. Wow. Well, I still thank you deeply for helping me out in that area. I find all these great broadcasts you two did. And
Gabby?
Yes, hello.
This is Vandal Calendar here.
Oh, yes, that sounds like the other one, yes.
Yes, please.
I am at the public library.
Yes.
And all of your, not all, but you have a million fans. But two of your big fans are here. Mr. Jeff Boone.
Yes.
Just spoke about you in the most fluent of words imaginable.
Wow.
And he said that he would get those jobs. And some other people here are asking if I could get theirs too. I also have here by Bamboo, the man that wants to know people's business. He is right here.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, my friend.
And you have here the boomer.
Yes.
Good woman.
And
That bro-
other people here, all your friends from the houses, the nation is here. Barbados is here. We have CBC, of course, is here. We have the officials from the library here.
Yes.
We have here the director just spoke glowingly about you as well. And it's been a great occasion here so far. And we are all happy that you have been able to do this phenomenal work. So the mood here is one of great celebration. And as was pointed out by the, I think it's our master of ceremonies with Beverly Archer. This is the first book that comes after the Declaration of the Republic. And therefore, this will go down in history. And everyone is very congratulatory of your efforts. And I see that your crowd over here, your crowd has also spoke very highly about you, not only as a Barbadian man, but as a Caribbean man. So everybody's hearing me out there? I think Bumble Payne has something to say. Mr. Payne, go ahead.
Yes. I looked at the series earlier, but I just want to share with everyone. I have spoken many times, and I'm saying it publicly. I consider Gabby to be because most people may excel in one particular field, but Gabby has excelled in many fields and areas. And therefore, I do consider you, Gabby, a genius. Now, let me just share two brief experiences, conversations that we recently had over, I remember Gabby calling me in the morning and saying, "Remember, I have 166 more poems to write to get to 2,000 within a short period of time." I said, "Gabbert, if anyone had told me that, I would have asked them in how many lifetimes you plan to get that right?" But Gabby is the only person that could tell me that, and I would believe it. Phenomenal. Another time, Gabby told me that someone just called him and told him, encouraged him to keep reaching for the stars. I said, "But Gabbert, you done pass the stars and everything. I hear no trying to find out what's the name of the galaxy beyond the stars." So, my friend Gabby, I'm encouraging you. Whatever it is, you continue to help.
I thought it was
Thank you.
Gabbert.
Yes, Bumba, yes, Jeff.
I really mean all of it. And you were so well, Resume, and you have the worst memory of anybody I know.
You used to have.
And so Bumba could tell me with a laugh at you. You remember the time that you were contracted to perform in Canada, and you gone to Grand Island Airport, guitar and everything ready to go, and then you arrive in Canada and discover you had one problem. You had forgot the guitar back at Barbados Airport. Gabby, you gotta learn from everything. You remember that, bro?
Oh, yes.
Gabbert, smile. Only you, boy. Only you. Yes, I did make my commitment. Your friend Jack should be coming.
Yes, sir. So I think Jennifer, Jennifer, who's the acting director, Jennifer Young, who's the acting director of the National Levy Service. Let's come and here. Jennifer, come and say something. I'm director, Gabby here now. And so that the audience, international audience, can see and hear you, because you made some very glowing comments about Gabby in your presentation. Yeah, you are. Yes, sir.
The mighty Gabby, thank you so much for your Anthonyology.
Thank you.
I have shared Barbados. It inspired me. I started to read some of these stories. I really couldn't put them down. My favorite one that every
we want to thank all those who have made it possible to hear us today. And you know who they are, what they were spoken. We want to thank the press for being there. And we hope, and we know that they will hopefully record what is taking place. And we want to stretch so far to be able to produce something. If you are your house and you're connected with the whole wide world, and you'll be able to do what was almost impossible a few years ago. But once again, you have really delivered. You have strengthened the love to the point where it's ready to burst, but it's not bursting. So you remain just a fantastic creature of God, happen to be born in Barbados and happen to travel the world. Thank you very much for being part of this great occasion. And you tell everybody there, thank you for joining in and celebrating with Gabby as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I also, if I can extra, very little bit of time left, I just wanted to thank you and your wife for the great effort. I know you kept behind me and make sure that I get these poems out. And you want to read one little part of this one called That Mango Tree. And it says, we were still in primary school, elementary school for week. There was this huge, imposing, succulent, inviting Harvey mango tree. It had belonged to old Miss Grant, mother of misery. If a boy hits the yelling, all day long she calling. If you pass, all day long she calling. If you go on the spot, all day long she calling. If you're pitching and in she yard the marble stop, all day long she quarreling. Mango trees real foolish. They didn't know where to bear. Unlike appies, dunks, and plums, and even say a pear. These trees know where children pass and make themselves available. But you see that mango tree? They just grow where people give trouble. Always in somebody else who's selfish and mean. People like the same Miss Grant, Mr. Smith, or Mr. McQueen. I just wonder who met them. It must be the devil for fruit. Them and people like Mr. Payne, Miss Simpson, and Mr. Hallow. Anyhow, let me tell you about this mango tree. Its fruits were large and pretty, as sweet could be. I was a very good pelter, and so I took my aim at the largest mango tree. And look, small matter, I won the game. With that one shot, I threw my rock and swoosh, the fruit did fall. Me and my friends cut it up. It was large, we had a ball. But boys will be boys, that wasn't enough. So, Kenny and me, with Basil watching and Ricky bagging, we emptied the mango tree. All of the fellas, names like Ashton, that we only get 3. Then and tell Miss Miserable Miss Grant for the tree away. The lashes we mother gave us could last a whole lifetime. We would think we kill a priest or commit some other cruel crime. I went back in that mango tree. I say it is no, I never went back in that mango tree. I say it's a disgrace that a sweet Harvey mango tree like that to grow in the wrong place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Can I say something?
Yes, my brother.
Yes, so, yes, I remember those good old days from another country, say Jamaica, in which we used to aim at those mangoes. And, you know, those were very good days, especially during the holiday times in the summer. We would go and have our fling at the mangoes or, you know, wait under the mango tree for the mangoes to fall. But saying that, you see how close we all are linked. One people, different countries. So my question to you, sir, as a performance artist, as a recording artist, as a writer, as a poet, how have your work been influenced, if any at all, by other Barbadian recording artists such as Jackie Opel, maybe the Merryman, Rihanna, Winner, Anthony Kellman, Brathwaite, if you want to say how, if at all, your work have been influenced by these outstanding artists.
All those names, two names come to mind quickly. One would be Jackie Opel, and the other would be Kamau Brathwaite.
Mm-hmm.
Kamau was my dear friend, and his work is so profound. He painted beautiful pictures. I remember we were at New York University, and there was this professor who was the head of the department of literature there, and he was introducing Kamau, and he said, I want the audience to know that Kamau Brathwaite is to the world what William Shakespeare is to the world. In other words, I equate them. And that's high praise, because he's saying there's nothing in Shakespeare's work that is superior to Kamau Brathwaite's work. I felt honored that that was my friend that he was speaking about. I miss my dear friend. He has now gone on to a higher place. And so Jackie Opel, now on the other hand, was my neighborhood boy. He was one of the in our neighborhood.
Yes.
So we grew up and walked distance of each other. Was just great from early. In his teens, he would pass at night with three other guys. I never knew their real names, but one was Lord Jesus, one was Tiffler, and the other was Jack Crow. And they would do these 4-part harmonies. And I would lay down at night, and my mother, little boy, you don't go down to sleep. No, you don't go down to sleep. But she knows that I'm waiting to hear those 4 guys. And that's only then I would get comfortable and go to sleep, because these voices meant so much to me. And Jackie's voice, of course, was the one out front and center, and the others harmonizing in 4-part harmony. And that was big in my book. It was just huge, because I wanted to emulate that kind of standard, that kind of quality. And of course, not just Barbadians, but people like Melody, Lion, Attila, these great calypsonians out of Trinidad and Tobago. I would get the chance at a lady next door called Miss Walker, who happens to be the grandmother of Jerome Walker, our present Minister of Foreign Affairs. And there I would go in and have to behave really well to get the chance to listen to these records that she would play. And I would try to memorize every lyric that was sung. I only had to hear a song twice in those days, and I could sing the whole song. And those memories, they're there. And then the Chapman's Band Choir with the great singers like Ormond Scott. You know, I mean, like, how can you forget that? It's like an indelible mark in my mind. It's potent and important. And so our choir masters, Seymour Bishop, and a guy called Bailey. I never knew his first name, just Bailey. And, these are the groundings for me. And then Mr. Dotton at St. Mary's School, and Miss Linton, who happens to be a Jamaican, is who taught me theater. So from very young, very early, 9, 10 years old, I was involved in theater on the stage. And then when we went to church, they would always ask me to recite some poem. My brother would take me, and he wants to show that his brother can recite poems really well without having to have any lyrics in his hand or something like that. So I was involved with the art form like that. And so when it comes to people like Jackie Opal and people like the great Kamal Bradford, I bow to them because they are my pioneers and they are my heroes. And I am grateful that God gave me the chance to be able to sing and write and get involved with theater and other aspects of the performing arts.
Great, very good, thank you.
Clyde Griffith, I see your hands up. Clyde Griffith.
Clyde, Clyde,
you want to go, Clyde? Clyde Griffith. Seems like he's off. He's
Clyde,
there, but he's not at the mic.
Your mic, you have to put it on.
He's not at the mic at the moment. Is there anyone else? I see Barbara. Is that Clyde? Okay. You're there now, Clyde?
Chase had come on earlier, but I hope that she's still with us. But the song wasn't good. Barbara, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Gabby. I want to say congratulations on your new book. And this not be books. This has to be a serial. I was a librarian, so there's serial. The serial goes on and on and on. Because I heard you say, my life was. What life was? You are still living, and ways you are living, you are so prolific. Putting out at 4 o'clock in the morning, things like that. So, but the thing I wanted to say before everyone goes, one, about the colonialism thing. Gabby was never one of the people to lie down and take it. Don't get that wrong, people. He always saw, well, I am a person and I'm just as good as everybody else. The time he walked home, somebody was giving a speech with some royal person or somebody from England, and children had to line up in the street. And he said, I can't. So he said, I go home. And he left and went home. That's something that I would have never tried. Okay? But what I want to do, I'm not good at talking. But what Gabby is documenting in these poems is very important. It's the culture and the history of a group called the Black Proletariat, who is not represented in formal literature, the formal history. So this is very important. In addition to chronicling Gabby's living, I tried to do it in a book, but he kept living and living and living. Okay, but congratulations, Gabby, and keep putting out those points.
And thank you for writing my autobiography, Who Gabby Think. And ladies and gentlemen, I will also let you to purchase that.
It is also a discography.
Where you can it was like growing up, and tours, and my connections to Eddie Grant and Bryna and other great artists, so yes, that's the book that Barbara wrote on my life. And so I just want
Would you put it up again, please? Cover.
all the things that you see going on here has nothing to do with me at all. It was my wife that allowed me to connect with God. So I have to thank you. And by the way, today is also our first anniversary. So yes, people, I got married to Stina 1 year ago today.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to stop getting up at 5 o'clock and writing poems. You should be doing other things at that time.
I don't get to sleep. She would tell you till 12, 1, 2 in the morning. So, I 4 hours sleep, I'm up. And that's a lot of the times when the creative juices begin to flow. And I make my friends miserable by sending them some of these poems at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. And Barb's, you happen to be one. So my apologies to you and all the others, but I always feel that if I don't share it with some friend, that I'm being selfish. So that's why I would share the poems with my friends. And also I want to thank my daughter, Julie. I know she might be listening in somewhere. And my other daughter, Kaisha, Janelle, all my children. I got 8 of them. Rodney, Shaka, Fidel, I'm forgetting somebody. Tanya, oh my God, they're all so important in my life. Thank you all very much.
All right. See, there's a Keisha Barros. You unmute your mic, Keisha.
Hi, Daddy. It's Keisha.
Oh, she's here. See?
As you know, I have the book already. And you know what my favorite poem is in the book. I don't even have to tell you. But I just wanted to say congratulations. And I am so proud of you. And I love you so much. I'm so proud to be your daughter. Congrats again. And congrats to you and Sheila on your 1-year anniversary.
Thank you. Listen, I want you all to know that my daughter Kaisha has been living in the United States since she was 3 years old and is yet to lose her Barbadian accent. She left when she was just 3 years old. And I've known people that have been living here for 5 or 6, 7, 10 years, and they're all with the American accent. And yet Kaisha speaks as though she had never left Bridgetown one single day. That always absolutely amazed me. And anything I do, Kaisha is onto it like in a flash. She and Julie. I just want to thank her, thank Julie.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
Can I speak?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, this is Yvette. Most Honorable Dr. Gabby Carter.
Yes, guys.
Gabby, yes. I just want to say congratulations on behalf of myself and Brian. He's at work, cannot be here. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. You know I've been waiting for this day. And I've read those poems 3 hours in the morning. Congratulate you. And just wish that this day would come. It's here. I'm happy for you. And I'm expecting to have my book signed in my hand ASAP. Thank you.
You know that will be done. Thank you so much, Yvette. Thank you, Brian. I know you might be somewhere on the sea now, but my heart with you and my heart's with Yvette, and I love you all so much.
We love you too, and you know it. Love you beyond bounds.
So Yvette.
Okay, I see another. I see Frank. Frank, hands up. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Gabby.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Yes. I think it's appropriate that as a poet myself, I offer my congratulations to you. For this area. I know you for years as a very good actor, best calypsonian probably in the Caribbean right now, and my favorite for many years. And I'm glad to see that you are now going into the area of poetry and actually bring up your work that you've been writing for years in terms of your poetry. When you first started to send those poems to me, Julia warned me that you write water every day. So she say you will be getting water every day. I remember the one you sent deep into the jungle. You said that at 2:15 a.m. in the morning. I remember just rolled over the bed. I take out the phone and look at it. Who that WhatsApp this time? And when I look, I see it pour for Gabby. I say, I really want it. yeah, that was very, very, very good. There's no doubt in my mind, Gabby, that our artists will play a pivotal role in the development of our republic. And when I say our artists, I mean all areas: musicians, filmmakers, actors, poets, everybody. Right? What struck me?
Writers.
Right. What struck me very, very clearly when you read the poem earlier, where you chronicle the whole behavior of the Fondabel people and so on, was that you were recording history, but not only recording history because historians record history, but as an artist, as a poet, you were recording history as a personal experience, actually living the history. And that is the difference between the artist and the historian, between the poet and the historian. The historian records facts. We record feelings. We record the emotion of being there, of being affected by the whole scenario of whatever it was that we were experiencing, whether it would be racism, whether it would be joyful occasions, sad occasions. We record the emotions of the occasion rather than just the facts of it. So it's a different thing with history, and that is the beauty of the poet, of the writer, whether it be a novelist, short story writer, historian, poet, and so on. We record that emotion. That's very, very important because people connect better with emotions. People connect better with emotions than if you feed them facts. If you feed them just dry facts, they don't catch it. But once you get that emotion over to them, then they can identify with the feeling and the experience that those people would have gone through at that time, And it's great because even you talk about the people in the field, and we have come such a long way now that I now see where government has put in place where the actual women who work in the field now, they have proper toilet facilities as well as lunchroom facilities. And this is something that was lacking for years. And we know, Barbados was independent. We were a colony. We became independent. And this is something that happened, and it happens so nicely prior to our becoming a republic. This is very important. This is another stage of independence. Republic, another stage. This is the top stage of independence, where we are truly an independent country now. And I look forward as a poet myself to playing a part in this development of our republic. And I know, Gabby, it's going to be great. Enjoy your work. Looking forward to all the other stuff that you're going to bring out. Definitely. And I myself will look at the book early next year. So we'll be on the road. Thank you again, Gabby.
Great. Thank you very much, Frank. I wish you all the best in all of that brilliant poetry that you write. Put it out. The one thing is that if we write it and we don't put it out, then the world could be doubtful as to if we actually did it. But once it is out there, then there can be no doubt. And I really wish you all the best of your work and works, because you're a brilliant poet yourself and a family member. So thank you, my brother.
All right.
Gabby, this is Joelle again. I'm getting a little jealous here. I would like to get a poem every morning too. I'm not chopped liver. I need my poem too. How is that possible? Can you?
Because I have to admit that 3 days has passed. That I haven't written anything. I wasn't feeling 100%.
Yes.
This COVID situation to deal with.
Yeah.
But I was happy that prior to those 3 days, I had written 4 poems one day.
Wow.
So it's time in that regard.
Even
And
when you're sick, you're still writing, huh?
yeah, I wrote one in tribute to my friend Dr. Corey Ford, who looked after me right through. He's the head of the whole COVID medical situation here in Barbados.
Oh, yes, he's a blessing.
Highest honor as most honorable, and so happy for him. He truly that's a man that don't know anything other than an 18 to 20 hour shift.
Oh boy.
You know, he has been there, and I get emotional when I talk about it because of the fact that we had similar beginnings.
Yeah.
4 people.
Yeah.
And work, and as a young man, he has done so much to see that COVID is controlled in this country.
Unbelievable.
You know,
yeah.
I can't give him enough praise. He is just a genius.
I was amazed, you know, to see how young he is and doing so much, you know, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But how are you feeling now? And you look well still, you know. You haven't, you didn't lose any weight or nothing. You still look like the same Gabby with the face, you know.
Thank you.
So you're a fighter. You're a fighter.
Yes. Because you know, I have known friends, family who have to this COVID-19, and I know it's a challenge, but
yeah,
I face it, you know, with confidence, and I am 100% sure that I will make a full recovery. But Flavius, I cannot thank you and your crew in Jamaica and in England, because had not for you, I could not have done this podcast, this broadcast, this Zoom. You know, I can't thank you enough. You and Mr. Calendar and his wife, and the library itself, and the library staff, and CBC, Nation, Barbados Today, all the other media houses. I want to thank you all so much. You know, Ms. Carifa, she's, well, I can't even find word. That is just leave her out of the word business when it comes to GNI.
Yeah.
And the PM who always encouraged me, I would send poems to the PM early in the morning, 2, 3, 4, and I would be expecting that I'll hear from her around 9 or 10, and she will write me back and say, "Nice one, Gabbert."
Oh.
Surprised because Prime Minister got so much stuff to do, and I was hoping that maybe, you know, she'll see it late in the day, and there she was up. And sometimes I would get a call at 2, 3 in the morning.
Okay.
And say, "Gabbert, I up. You all right?" "Yeah, all right, good. One love." And that's it, you know. But I know she's busy doing so many different things. And I also want to congratulate my friend Rihanna.
Oh yes, for sure.
National hero. Some people say too young, too this, too that. Never too young. Queen Elizabeth became the Queen of England at 27 years old.
There you go.
You know,
there you go.
Got to understand that we got to give it to young people when they deserve it.
Yes.
Deserve it. Forget about what we say about dress and this and the hot lifestyle. I know Robin Fenty, and she is going to make Barbados proud.
Oh, more proud, more proud.
To contact with her dad on a daily basis.
Yes.
We are very, very, very close friends. And I assure you that he's a very proud man this morning. He sent me a message about hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Okay.
You know, I will call him back a little later. But she deserving. My friend, Dr. Edson Wiltshire, Dr. the most honorable.
There you go.
Nicholas Branker.
I watched it all. Yes.
You are my friends who have served Barbados, without reservation, traveling all over the world, sometimes in the best conditions, sometimes in conditions that's almost unbelievably bad, but never always fighting on behalf of our country. So to everyone who has received national honors this year, I congratulate them and I say to them that they truly deserve these honors. You know, my heart feels great that I lived to see this day when Barbados became a republic.
Most definitely. May I ask you something, Gabby? In your own words, how do you describe, or how would you say, how would you define national hero?
How would I define national hero?
Yes.
Excuse me. I define national hero as someone who unselfishly work on behalf of our country.
That's right.
Very unique way. That's exactly what Rihanna did. What impressed me about that young lady is that when she became a star, there were several attempts, a lot of people don't know this, to try to get her to change her accent so she'd be more accepted on the world stage. And she said, no, I's a Bajan, and I talking like a Bajan. Everyone I can't understand, that's your business.
Good for her.
I started English and speaking in Bajan dialect, and I will do both according to how I feel. So a lot of people don't understand that, and some people at first will say, "Oh, she speaks so funny, we can't understand." Nowadays, they quote her. They quote her because she had decided from early she will not give up her Barbadian accent. So, you know, and everybody knows she doesn't like it mentioned, but she has done so much for the health service in Barbados. She has done so much for schools in Barbados. She has done for individuals in Barbados, right? That young lady isn't just a rich woman who flaunt money or flaunt material things.
Yeah.
Has her head on.
Very kind-hearted.
Doing and what she can and will do for our country.
Bless her. Bless her. Bless you. Bless our amazing Prime Minister.
I am talking about a true national hero. And my congratulations to her, her mother, her father, her brothers, and everyone connected to her.
Yes.
She is a fine, fine human being.
Thank you, Gabby. Good morning, Wendell, and good morning, Winfield Calendar. I am going to say to them, thanks very much for helping to define my life. They were both my teachers.
At co-op.
At co-op. How you know? Co-op. Yes. Exactly.
And your father was the principal of it?
God rest him in his grave. He taught me so much. You know, in that school, I learned respect. I learned manners. I learned everything. I learned to walk with my head up high, you know, and I was fortunate enough, or unfortunate, I should say, to be in Barbados that I was able to attend his funeral, the dad's funeral, Wilbert Calendar. I was so elated when I saw there was a section for the cooperative pupils. And I was sitting with my sister and I looked at her and I said, sorry, gonna leave you alone. I gotta go with my people on the other side. I saw what they had a section there, and it was so good to be reunited with so many of the classmates. you know, and I always think about him. I see him. Every time I do something that I think it's wrong, I hear him say, no, that's not right. So I live by what I learned from him. And I want to thank those calendars very much for what they taught me and how they taught me.
People, you know,
yeah.
My
Yes.
Is going on to the house.
Yes.
Go and sit, and then they will call me, Gabby, you too great to come here and feel or what? And you say, well, come up here, man, and let me talk. And when he's picking okras or tomatoes or beans or something, and we are carrying on these conversations, and he's talking about the arts, and he's talking about, you know, about sport. He's talking about the situation in Barbados, even though he was a Jehovah's Witness man.
Yes.
He was aware of everything that was happening in Barbados.
And I would like to see him honored too. I would like to see him honored. When he started his own school, his own private school, because it was private school at the time.
Yes.
And so many good students came out from under Wilbert Calendar. And I would love to see something done. I would love to see him honored for his educational purposes.
Like almost bordering on very little, because there were other private schools, if you were comparative in terms of the fees charged.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, a lot less. Yes.
People could
attend his school. That's right. That's right. I can't even talk without him without getting emotional, you know. And when he's teaching, you feel like if he's talking to you on a one-on-one, you know, we were like his kids, he was like our dad. He gave you the personal affection. You can approach him anytime. You know what I mean? But he threw in a few lashes here and there. I mean, that's okay. It didn't kill me. It made me better. I didn't get too much because I don't think I was that bad in school. But he even when you could see in his face when he's giving lashes that he's feeling it more than you know. And then sometimes he would say, now, why did you make me do that? Be better next time. Be better next time. You know, so congratulations to Barbados to becoming a republic, for the independence, for the great people they have put out there all over the world, you know, and their education is unbelievable. Thank you, Barbados. Thank you, Cooperative High School. Thank you, Mr. Gabby. And I wish you all the best, and I wish you well. And I'm also saying that to Griner too, because I know that he wasn't well also. I wish him well. And I wish everybody good luck in their future endeavors. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank
you. Gabby, Mr. Batson wants to speak with you.
Batson?
Unmute your mic, please.
Okay. Batson is that
okay, Gabby. We can't call that name because some people get offended, so we will leave it at that. You know? But I want to say that I am one of the few people that is fortunate to set with Gabbert when he wrote two of his many classics. I remember one night while we were still in Emerton, Granny Carr's Gabbert mom, my aunt, used to always tell me, if Tony's sleeping, don't wake him up. But this night, for some reason, I decided, I listen to my aunt tonight. I'm going to wake up Gabbert's man. I wake up Gabbert. When Gabbert's wrote in front of me, Bajan fisherman in about 8 minutes. So and then when we got started 2 and 4,
I went to Clapham. I am the person that denied Gabbert for months and months and months. And one Sunday, me and myself was sitting in the bedroom. He called me by my favorite name, but we didn't use it here. He said, "How? Pass me that guitar there." And in 8 minutes, Emerton was done. So I am extremely proud of the Gabberts, man. Congratulations on your first anniversary, and congratulations on your many books ahead. Enjoy and keep safe.
Thank you. I just want to say this to Hal. Hal and I were both community people. I was the first president of the Clapham Community Council. And Hal and I decided that we wanted to get fruit trees for our community. And we went to the government and they told us at the time that they can give us some of the fruit trees, but we have to purchase the rest. We did it out of our own pockets. And I remember Hal saying, "Garris, we got to put in one single rule." I said, "What's that?" That nobody can sell any fruit that we give them the fruit tree. They have to give it away to the neighbors. And that has remained like that in our neighborhood from then until now. And also when we were moving from Emerton to Clapham, how it was. And, it's amazing how these things do occur. And so my phone will always keep going off. But I remember us going to Mr. Ray's site so we can get a huge rock. We wanted this rock to put a plaque on it to commemorate the movement from Emerton and Chapman's Lane to Clapham. And Hal was there, and we put on the first ever Emerton Day with a lot of help from a lot of people, including one of the top police in Barbados at the time, a man called Mr. Charles Lunn. And so, like, when it comes to community things, Hal has always been there for us, always, always. And so, I just so grateful to have him as a friend, and have him as a family member. And he reminded me that I went into a marathon swimming race from Oyston Bridge, the bridge in Oyston, to the bridge at the police station at the time, the Harbor Police on Bay Street. And that was a full marathon swimming race. And also, of course, I got involved with the road tennis, and I became the first national champion in road tennis. So yes, I did a lot of sport in my time: swimming, running, cricket, football. I was never great at cricket, but I always loved cricket, football, basketball, you name it. I tried to get involved with all the sports when I was a youngster. And so, and Hal has always been there as either a player or one of the people who organize it, So our bond is inseparable, not just because we're two sister children, but because we made up our minds that we have to help our community in some form or fashion.
Okay. Is Clyde ready to talk now? Clyde?
Hello?
There you go, Clyde.
Hello. Are you on mute, man?
Yes, are you there now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Good. I was listening all the time, but you have so many people paying tribute to your greatness and genius that I said I'll wait my turn because I have quite a few things I want to say, Gabby, about you and to you. I've been privileged to call you my friend for many, many years. And a lot of my relatives grew up in Emerton with you. You know what I mean? They exchanged views on my cousins, Rudolph and Kenny and all of them. So I was very proud of that, Lenny. I am proud of that connection. I particularly want to tell your Barbadian audience how I was overwhelmed with your genius, especially when you were here living and we used to hang out together. I'm still in New York, as you may know.
Yes.
And Then around Christmas time, I think it was 2000, when I told you I am concerned that we cannot put on a Christmas program here. I would love that when I drop you home at 2 o'clock in the morning, then back to my home in Queens, and you called me at 7 o'clock and you told me I have the whole Christmas play written. That blew me away. And we put on a magnificent Christmas program that the Barbados in New York enjoyed. All done by you in less than 5 hours. I know you didn't sleep that night.
No, I didn't.
I introduced you to people here who said, man, this man is a giant. And I have always been proud of being associated with you, not because your name Gabby, but because you reflect so much as a genius. I always call you a genius. I've read a lot of that poetry, and I say it's a great way of really reflecting on the history of Barbados and what Barbadians need to reflect on as you set it out. So I feel proud of the fact that you've done this. It is the work of a very committed Barbadian, a man who has used your talent really to highlight what we have gone through, what we have suffered as the descendants of slaves. And I know that you do great research because what you've shown me demonstrates the importance of reading, and I want Barbadians to understand that we must read more, look at the history more, and indeed see that what our Prime Minister, Mia Amor Motley, has been doing is really, really, greatly beneficial to Barbados. I pray for her every day. I pray for you every day. And I want you to continue educating the public of Barbados in your own way. I want to thank you for being my friend.
I thank you for being my friend all these years. You being our CG, our Consul General in New York, and being my friend, and for asking me to write or produce something that we could perform in New York at that time. But once you said the words, I wasn't thinking of a show anymore. I was thinking of a play. So I wrote the play, and all of the parts, all the characters and everything came in that 5 or less hours because I saw where we could put Barbados out there at a Christmas time, and I reminisced then on what Christmas was like in Barbados when I was a boy. The choir, the church, the this, the baking, the that, the ram shop, the whole scenario. And it just unfolded as though it was just waiting for me to just write it down. And I saw all those characters, and so I wrote about the characters and the speeches or lines that they would say at a particular time in the play and all that. So I wrote a three-act play, and it came out well. I was so surprised at the turnout, first of all, that we had at Brooklyn College, and also at the response of the audience to the play. Because not only did I write it fairly quickly, but the fact is that we didn't have a lot of time to rehearse because it was so close to Christmas time. So people like Carol Ann Canterbury can't praise enough. She also helped me then afterwards to rewrite a part of the play. And then Archie Miller, who played a fantastic role as the choir master, and all of the other people who were involved in the acting and all of that, that you just cannot hear them. You know, so
Zorro,
I am
singing Francine. It was powerful.
I'm singing Francine to come in the play and became one of the singers. And she understood the whole Barbadian thing because she's Barbadian, and she understood what the scenario was I wanted to paint in terms of a Christmas time. And I set the play in the 1950s so that, you know, youngsters today can see the contrast between that period in time in Barbados and presently.
I have one thing to add before I go, because I know a lot of people are still waiting in line. You know, many years ago, you mentioned to me that we need, in our tourism effort, we need music. And I know that the Merrymen played a great role in part of the promotion and others. I can't think of many more now. But what I want to propose, and I hope that when I get back to Barbados, I know for now I'm going to be here until the 29th, but I want to express to you my interest in sitting down with you and talking about and with the national carols from Cultural Foundation under the excellent executive director, Carol Roberts. I want to sit down and talk about how we can put on, move Barbadian culture into the United States across campuses, especially the black campuses across, so that we can see culture earning foreign exchange for Barbados.
Yes.
You know, we need to make that connection, especially the black campuses, especially like Howard University and those universities in Atlanta and so on. And I believe that it will make a significant impact in linking the Caribbean communities in the diaspora with the cultural explosion that is just waiting. As you remember, many Caribbean calypsoes, it might be Sparrow and all them shows there that were well supported. I want to push it across the United States of America because there's great potential, and I believe the NCF, under the leadership of Carol and yourself, with the Ministry of Culture, can really make that significant impact, which should help us to earn foreign exchange, and not only earn foreign exchange, build linkages with the Afro-American community in the United States of America.
Yes, thank you. Clyde, before I go, I just want to ask you, which college did you lecture at in the United States?
I used to lecture at Medgar College, which is in the heart of Brooklyn.
Yes, I know the Medgar College. Yes.
So give some thought to it. I know that, I suppose you're way ahead now, because given the time that I've been here now since November 4th, I have been doing a lot of thinking about how we can make this work for Barbados, for the Republic of Barbados. And I'm proud to say that, because I've always wanted to see Barbados as an independent. Arabar started it, but my leader, whom I've always been praised of, and she's very, very popular in the diaspora. Let me tell you that. Very popular. That I want to see us benefit from the cultural capabilities that we represent in Barbados, and really, really bring some benefit to the country out of our cultural capabilities under the leadership of the National Cultural Foundation.
Very well said. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day and God bless and have a happy Christmas. I will not be there, but I want you to get back to 100% so you can continue the good work that you started.
Thank you so much, Craig. Thank you so much.
All right. Before we get out of here, is there anyone else who want to say something before we wrap up in the next 15 minutes?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? This is Margaret Dean from New York.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, dear. I'm so proud of you. But one question, where can we get the books up here?
You can get it at Amazon.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will do so. Great seeing you. Hi, Clyde.
Less than 3 days.
Okay. Keep up the good work. And I too read my my poems at the evil hours of the morning.
Yes, like
Okay. God bless.
friend since she was very, very young in New York. And as a matter of fact, she's a former Miss Barbados, New York. And we have remained friends all of these 3 million years. And Mike is still looking fine. Nice to see
Thank you. I'm glad to see you looking well as well.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless. Happy
God bless.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Okay, there.
Anyone else?
Hello, yeah.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity and wish Gabby and Sheena a very happy anniversary. May God bless you and continue to give you great life and a wonderful life together. Love you both.
Thank you. We love you too. Before I say anything else, though, I have some African friends. Some live in here, and some are in Nigeria, and some are in Ghana. And I guess some people know, and some don't know, that I am actually an African chief. My chieftain name is Chief Omowali, which means our son has returned to us. And so I know that they feel proud this morning too, that they're launching this book. And we are constantly in touch with each other in 3 different chats. One with the Nigerians, one with the Ghanaians, and another one with both Nigerians and Ghanaians. But we also have some other friends in Africa that are in Botswana and South Africa. And I want to thank them for all the support and everything. I want to thank the Yoruba people in particular for making me a chief back in 2007. And I enjoy myself in Africa every time I go, whether it be Southern Africa or whether it be West Africa. I've never had a chance to go to East Africa, but I just, want to let them know that I love my brothers and sisters out of Africa, and that the book is available on Amazon.com. And, we will keep in touch as we usually do through WhatsApp messaging and stuff like that. And Mr. Calendar, again, I have to thank you, Wendell, from the bottom of my heart, you and Margot. Margot did all that hard work, and she's always in the background. But Mike, I love you, and you know that you have done so much for me. And I am eternally grateful. And I know that this book would be a success. So thank you.
Gabbo.
Okay.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Hi, Gab.
Old me?
Old, very old. Very old. Well, you know that I'm about listening, huh? So I've been here from the very beginning.
Oh, wow.
It took me a little while to get in because I was trying it on the phone, but they had too many security issues, and I just said no. I went and got myself the computer. So I'm on, and I've been on, as I said, since the beginning. I've heard all the plaudits, and of course, I don't know that any of them could be enough. You know how I think about you. You are my very, very, very special friend and brother. In creation, we share a lot of the background of the poor, impoverished, and underprivileged. We've come from a very special place that enables you to see life as maybe nobody else could claim, because you've seen it from the very bottom. You're looking up and down. So I understand where you're coming from, why you write the way you write, and all of that. We're very similar in a lot of respects. And I want those who are listening to understand the real Gabby is a very disciplined person, because you cannot be of that caliber of writer and artist without serious discipline. You know, I know him and he knows me. And I say no more, because at the end of the day, forget what people say. Always remember that it's about what people do. You can say a lot, and that goes from the very top of life to the bottom. A man might say, I'm going to kill you, but he doesn't move towards you. So therefore, that man is not going to kill you. You understand? And I try to understand people at that level. You are a special guy, Gab. Everything that Roland said when he first introduced me to you, I asked him, is this a nice guy? Forget the singing. Forget all the plaudits that you get in the tent and whatever. Is he a nice guy? I only deal with nice guys, because ultimately, at the end of the day, one day, even if it's your brother from your mother, one day, a word can be said that causes injury to the person's soul. And at that point, you need to exercise your judgment based on the fact that that person normally is an absolutely nice person. And that's how I've learned it from my father. And it's never seen me wrong. You are my friend to death and beyond. You know that. You know that. So on this particular day, we're talking not music, we're talking about poetry. I know damn all about poetry. But what I do know is that in order for you to do what you have done, it has taken great discipline. And you know how I feel about discipline. If it's in the studio, it's about discipline. If it's in my life, it's about discipline. There's very few things that can make me an undisciplined person. And I know, therefore, in your case, very few things can make that. And hey, you're allowed it. You are the Gabbards. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, remembering all these plaudits that's come from your people and others. Remember it, because in life, there's nothing much more to life, It is the way people see you, the way people think about you, the love that they show you. All of those things matter more than anything. You'll go to your grave and it'll be being said, hey, Gabby, a nice guy, real nice guy. And it goes down in history next to your other achievements. Gabby, nice guy. Thanks, my brother. I'll let you go now. Okay?
But I can't let you go without saying this. When I met Eddie Grant, I walked into his yard at his plantation. By the way, Eddie Grant lives on what should be the most revered piece of property in the whole Caribbean, because that's the home of Buster, who is now has been declared for some time now a national hero. He who fought against the British and lost his life when they came up. They didn't ask anything, which one is Buster him? And they just went and they killed him, right? And this plantation where we make this music, every single time I go there, there's something special about walking into that studio, because the studio is located where they used to keep all people who were enslaved. When they're punishing them, they keep them in the basement. And we had the shackles and everything was still in place in certain parts of that studio. where they would shackle them and keep them there. And so when I met Eddie Grant, I walked up there and I looked around, and then after about 20 minutes or more, I said, "Hi, Eddie." He said, "Who are you, man?" I said, "I'm Gabby." And he said, "Man, I thought you come to buy the place or something." And I said, "No." He said, "Man, I like that song, man. You have more?" I said, "Yes." I can't record no more yet, but that song is going to be very important in the history of Barbados and Barbados music. And it was that. And we did great music together. We became very good friends. And I can assure you all that if I have one friend, I said Eddie Grant. If I said two friends, I said Al Sparman and Eddie Grant. If I said three friends, I said Ronald Holder, who was Jason Holder, the cricketer's father. And if I said four, I said, well, that would be Harlem Nichols. I said five, I said, well, obviously Ralph Taylor. You know, so, and Sir Garfield Sobers. But I have many, many thousands of friends all over the Caribbean. And I love them dearly. But Eddie Grant is my heart. Understand what I'm saying, right? From the day one, his father came to my house a day, and he said, Gabbert. I said, "Yeah, man, I come for you." I said, "You come for me." I said, "What happened?" He said, Eddie wants to come to speak with you, man. So I told him, "Come in this area," and somebody showed me where to get here. I said, "You get here by yourself?" He said, "Yeah, man, I drove, man." And I come to you. And I went off, and in between Kennedy Drive and Bailey's Plantation, Eddie Grant's father said to him, "Gabbert, my son got a lot of friends, and my son got a lot of people in the music business. I have never heard him speak about one that he has spoken about you. Man, I declare you my son." And from that day, that's what it has been. Because
Anybody else?
Hey, Gabbert,
Eddie Grant,
you know how the calypso goes?
And nobody.
Party now start. You understand? Party now start.
Yep.
There's going to be a wave of consciousness across this country that may pull the people that in the way that you've been hoping that the people will be pulled. You know, maybe it's not the time and the place, but the reality of it, you're seeing your children, the people, not your belly children. No, you're seeing the people who you've been trying to educate in a certain kind of way. The people who probably even saw you as underprivileged, but they are coming away. Your songs, legendary, they're going to be legendary. The people have only got to support you. Everything in this life needs support. I just saw my friend Al Sparman coming, and people must understand, if I have to use this platform for him, that he is special, like you are special. And he too needs support. Nothing happens without support. Support is where it starts. You cannot give charity unless you have been supported. You think about all the things that you've seen in the world of finance, the world of technology, all of these people that we laud and applaud, we support them, or else they could not be who they are. So in the terms in which you relate to people, and as I said, I've been there from the very beginning. So I know the story.
Yeah. No.
I'm not talking about bats, not talking about Sparman.
I was trying to say yeah. Sparman.
But I must say, I'm happy to be here. And guys, Gabby, I've known you for many, many years. As a matter of fact, Eddie Grant, I knew him, his name as a boy. And all the songs he made and all of these things, I would sing his songs. Baby, come back, all of those things I'd be singing, but I never met him. And you are the one that took me one day and introduced me to Eddie. And Eddie sat down and all he kept doing was saying, I don't know, maybe he'll say one day what he was thinking, but he keep looking at me. And it was nice that we all embraced together. And since then, everything is history. We've been good friends. But I want to say for everybody here today, you know, too many times we wait until people die before we say good things about them. We wait until they pass and then we want to build a road in their honor. We want to put their statue up somewhere. But I think it's more commendable and appreciative if while we have these heroes and these stalwarts and these people who have done such a great thing in this nation with us, now is when we should really tell them thank you. Tell them we love them for all the great things you've done, how much you've brought out me, myself, all the good in me, and all those things. Gabby, you are a hero in this country, and I pray God that while your eyes are open, while we can touch you, while we can just feel you and tell you we love you and we care, that you will be considered a hero of this country. I want you to say to you on behalf of everyone, we love you, Gabby, we really do. You're a special human being. You're a gift from God. I sat down and look at you work. I have not seen anybody, any musicians. I wasn't able to see any people, but I saw you work. I'm telling you right now, you're a gift from God, and may God bless you. And this book that you wrote here, may God bless it, and may you write many more. I thank you all, and I appreciate the privilege to be able to say something today on your day, Gabby.
Thank you, Flavius, and all my other listeners and watchers. Hal Sparman isn't just my friend, he is my doctor. He is a heart surgeon, and he's also a man who wrote quite a few songs, and we recorded some of that stuff and all of that. But the friendship between Eddie Grant and Dr. Sparman and myself is very, very special. I could only say very special because I cannot elaborate in that sense. We up to the other day, they had some big boxing match, and there we were by Eddie Grant watching it together in the studio, some big heavyweight championship, right? But, you know, also I have a cousin called Sherlin Boyne, who we call Viking. And he has always been there for me every single day of his life. My mother brought him into this world because she was a midwife. And it was a very hard decision because it was either save Sherlin or save his mother. My mother decided to save Sherlin. And, you know, it was one of those very hard decisions. And Sherlin has remained like my heart beat from the day he born until today. You know, and there's nothing I asked him to do for me that he is. I was just sorry, Gabbard, but I can't do it. Maybe tomorrow. It's never been a tomorrow. It's always been a now. And so he is very much attached to Eddie too. He loves Eddie the same way that I love Eddie. And you know, Eddie's wife has been there for us, right quietly in the background. She don't say nothing. She just acts. She just does things for us, you know, and the children. And I mean, it's like, it is one thing for me to sit here, but I cannot put it out and picture how important the Grant family is to me. Eddie's mother, when we go to Guyana, she always want to cook. And when I wake up in the morning, she's there. Yeah, come and get something to eat. Even Eddie, he can get up later, or he gone already, or whatever. And so moms would make sure that I get my food in Guyana and anything. I mean, it's like people don't understand when I say that me and Eddie Grant live like brothers. We live like brothers.
All right.
Tell them about the water, Gabby. Tell them about the water in Guyana.
Oh my God.
I mean the bathing water.
I think that Eddie Grant has taught me more of Guyana than most Guyanese have or will ever be able to see. Because I have been to the jungle with him. I have been to rivers with him. I have been to lakes. I have been to Suriname from Guyana with him. I've been all over that place. And I tell you, everybody knows I love Guyana with a passion. And it's like, I remember some of the great things that happened. A simple one was in the market with Eddie Grant. And this Guyanese woman comes up. I cannot do the Guyanese accent that well. But she came to me and she said, Mister, are everybody calling the man who's the Eddie Grant? This is the real Eddie Grant? I said, yes, it is. She said, no, man, Eddie Grant is a big man. Now, in Guyana, big doesn't mean size. It means a respectable, mature person. So I said, no, that's him. No, man, don't you Eddie Grant's son or something? I said, no. Do you think he'd speak to me? I said, of course. I said, oh boy, lady over there wants to speak with you. Look, don't tell me no lie. He's really the Grant. You are the own them buses in the hall here? He said, yes. Mr. Grant, thank you. Mr. Grant, look, I used to get trouble getting to Georgetown when the day come. When the time the bus come, oh God, Mr. Grant, thank you. Look, Mr. Grant, you have to worry about that no more. But Mr. Grant, look, I got some mango here. Look, the mango sweet just like you. So Eddie laughed. Eddie said, Gareth, you want some mango? I said, sure. Eddie bought the whole fish. Oh God, Mr. Grant, no, just a couple of them have it, the habit means. Eddie said, no, ma'am. I'm gonna buy all these mangoes. And we had mangoes for 2 days. Eating Eddie's a mango freak. And I mean, we ate, me and Serpico and Eddie and someone else with us. And we had this mango, beautiful, lovely, tasty mangoes out of the market at Starbucks, the big market. And so, like, those moments are so special in my heart to me. As I can tell people, yes, me and Eddie went all over Guyana, and we love that country. And, you know, it's like, we love the Caribbean, period. But I have had the privilege of going to Guyana on quite a number of occasions and actually playing music in the jungle and I for the Amerindian people. Can't get better than that.
That's right, Gabbo.
And back over to Franco. Now, Franco?
Yes. Well, I don't know if the Honorable Mighty Gabby can go on any further. But we're going to give him some time for get some rest so he can gather him strength and do some writing next week or maybe starting tonight. So with that, I want to thank all of you this morning for taking time out and for being here with us. We of the Real Stuff Podcast thank the Mighty Gabby and thank all the followers, friends, family members who are here with us this morning. And for those
just
who
to
are...
button, Franco, just to button. The Reese of Podcast is very, very honored to be given this privilege to launch Gabby's first book of poetry in his long Anthonyology 35 volume to come. We are very proud and very pleased. And we thank you very much, sir.
Oh, I thank you. Yes, I thank you. When I told my friends, you know where my podcast is going to come from? Jamaica. What? You got that kind of connection? I said, yes, I do. And so, Flavius, I thank you so much because without you, we could not do it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. But everybody knows that at one point I got involved with politics. I did not win. Billy Miller beat me. But I wanted to read a poem about a character from that era, 1994. Her name was Anne. And it's entitled Anne from Wellington Street. The year was 1994. I'm a fool winner. I decided at the last minute to enter the political arena against two formidable opponents who really knew Bridgetown. The female competitor was Billy Miller, and the other, my friend David Comington. Our campaigns were fiery, licks pelting on all sides. Political campaigning is no place for wedding brides. My adventure took me into the middle of the heat, in the heart of the battle, into Billy territory, the famous or infamous Nelson Street. Nelson Street was pepper. It put me on retreat. But that was a Sunday picnic when compared to Wellington Street. Always in campaigning, there's a person walking with you who, from the neighborhood, people love and know. Otherwise, you campaign in a hot street. My Wellington Street person really knew out there, knew every single voter, knew every single affair. So we going house to house with confidence, no fear. When we reached this certain house, he said, don't go in there. I said to him that Philip Graves told me hold no grouse, that whether or not it was a supporter, go to every house. I, for once, ignored his advice that I was taking before. Boldly, I approached this neatly kept house and knocked on the front door. Two young girls opened the window. When they cast their eyes on me, one of them shouted hard and loud, look at me, boy, Gabby. Come in, Gabby, come in. My campaigner looked surprised. He winked, he blinked, his mind couldn't think. Pure shock filled his eyes. I entered, but then suddenly, from outside, a St. Lucian voice, in vexation and haste, in the loudest of tones, penetrated my bones, shouting, yo, get out of my place. It was the two girls' mother, with control and command, 100% a Billy Miller supporter. I learned later her name was Anne. No need to know her last name. She was famous all about there. A real battle axe who would never relax. A woman and a half, you hear? 2 days later, I saw her coming down a narrow alley with flyers in hand, you could understand, exhibiting the face of Billy. Anne, how you doing? Obviously. Where you got the gall and gumption to say you're speaking to me? And now, I know in full flight, fully in campaign mood. Those words were said with venom, with viper attitude. I told her just because she supported Billy wholeheartedly wasn't no reason for me, Gabby, not to speak to she. Somehow she calmed down a little bit and said, let me ask you a question. You got any family to you that is a St. Lucian? I tell she, yes, my father. And then I tell she his name. Big powerful ass start crying, saying, Lord, I feel so ashamed. Your father family raised me. I real sorry, Gabby, for treating you the way I did. But I still voting for Billy. You got my children votes already. But I tell you out of my mouth, come rain, sun, hell or high water, I can't leave Billy out. I come here black and hungry. My two children were small. You see that Billy Miller? She didn't let me out at all. She gave me a job at the school meal. I had no man nor spouse. I raised my children, send them to school, and build that little house. I can get enough votes for you, quietly, secretly. But from the bottom of my heart, I tell you from the start, I voted for Billy.
Well, this one is
Yep.
a bombshell.
Yeah. Back to you, Franco.
Oh, yes. As I was saying before, I decided to close off. That poem seems like it gave Gabby some more energy. But I must say that there's a gentleman by the name of Alvaro Sanchez, and I have to read this. He's in the YouTube chat room, and he said, "Good morning, Gabby. On behalf of Venezuela, it gives us enormous pleasure to be here and congratulate you on the launching of your poetry book. My congrats. Long live Barbados and Venezuela." And there's also one from Antara. Top of the morning, brethren. Congratulations to the doctor, the most honorable Anthony Carter, on the launch of his book of poetry. And there are many more. So for those who want to see the remaining comments, you can go on our YouTube channel. And please remember to subscribe, like, and share the video. And the object of this channel is to educate you and to entertain you. And remember, the Real Stuff Podcast is your Caribbean podcast. So on behalf of my team, I just want to thank all of you again for coming this morning, and thank the honorable, the most honorable Anthony Carter, a.k.a. the Mighty Gabby, for giving us this opportunity. So live and love every moment of your life and be grateful for each new day.
Thank you all so much.
You're welcome, sir. Cherish your family and friends, sir. Bless others. Keep the faith. Never lose hope. And remember, prayer changes things regardless of what religion you belong to. You must pray and continue to pray. So on behalf of my podcasting team, Flavius, Courtney, Francine, Maxwellette, and myself, have a joyful morning, a joyful afternoon, a joyful evening, depending on your time zone. And I'm going to ask Queen Lubafu to say Our Father in the language of the Garifuna, and then Tafina will take on myself to take us out of here. So Flavius,
yes, sir.
If you don't have anything else, I'm going to launch the rocket.
Oh, yeah, please do.
You lead us to Fula. You belong far away away. Ajugwala Lebabu Seru. Lida Mua, Lida Sungfula. Lida Mua, Lida Sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.